If you are new or newer as an author to the publishing space, I want to share some things that I wish that I knew when I was a baby author that could potentially help you. The first of which is that you are on your own for your book success. You cannot rely on your friends and your family to help with book sales, book reviews, getting the word out about you, or supporting you emotionally, and that's incredibly important. This is really important to you. You need to surround yourself with people who are on the same page, other new authors, other established authors, people in the space who get it. Your friends and family probably aren't that. There are also rules and regulations against your friends and family posting reviews, so please don't ask them to do that. But oftentimes we feel like we're not getting the support we want or need because this is a big, overwhelming, scary undertaking to get into the publishing space, whether you're traditionally or indie published, and we just want the people around us to be responsible for our feelings. Please don't let them be in that space because that only hurts your relationship with them. You have to understand you are in this for you. They're not responsible for liking your Instagram posts, for commenting on your YouTube videos. They are not responsible for sharing your TikToks. You are on your own for this growth, and that's a really good thing. Getting the right audience is the most helpful. We talk about it in terms of the book community and the tech space a lot. If you are putting your book on Amazon and all of your purchases are from your friends and family, the also bots are going to be skewed because your mom's buying cookbooks and your dad is buying birdwatching books and your best friend is buying an entirely different type of book and your sister is buying stuff for her kids, and it's going to skew your also bots. So you want to get people who are qualified readers, qualified fans, qualified followers. Don't have your friends and family following you on social media, and don't put that on them to be responsible for your likes, your comments, your growth. You want to make sure that you are aware that you have to build this from scratch by yourself, and it's going to take a hot minute. And just because it's taking a hot minute doesn't mean it's anybody else's responsibility to do this for you. You got to get the right quality, and that takes time. Another thing that I really, really wish that I knew when I was a baby author is that rapid release is your friend. I had people when I started in this career who held me back. They actively kept me from doing things so that I would not go beyond what they were doing. They were slow in how they were writing and how they were producing content and how they were marketing, and they wanted me to be on their level. So they actively gave me advice to keep me in place. I wish that I knew. Nobody that I talked to was a fast producer, somebody who was doing things quickly, and most people were not indie. Most people were traditional, and they were bound by the rules and regulations of the traditional space. Rapid release is your friend. The more you can get out and the faster you can get out, the more sales you're going to make. People are not going to buy your series until the full series is out. So if you take a year in between each book, that's a lot of time you're not making sales. The faster you can put content out, the better you're going to do. The faster you're going to rise in the industry, the more you're going to be known, and the more sales you're going to make. Rapid release, whatever that looks like to you, should be your plan. If you are a fast writer, get them out fast. If you are a slower writer, get them out as fast as you can. Rapid release for you. If you can do rapid release for the book community as a whole, better. But rapid release for you is going to be really, really important based on your skill levels. Now listen closely on this one. Your book cover colors matter just as much as what is on your book cover. The colors matter as much, maybe more than the rest of the stuff that's on your covers, because those are genre expectations. Certain colors sell better than others. Certain color combinations sell better than others. Certain color combinations are expected in specific genres. And your cover designer knows this. And if they don't, that's not a cover designer you should be working with. They're not skilled in this industry. So cover colors matter. Just because you wanted a color does not mean it will sell the best it can if it's not the right colors. And there's some variation. There are options. It's not like it's this and only this, but there are specific things on covers that will do better for you than others. And if you research it, and if you pick somebody who actually knows the industry, not somebody who hung up a shingle that I could Photoshop, I can Canva, pick somebody who actually knows what they're doing, has done the research, and has proven results with the covers that they're making. Somebody who has been in this business for a really long time and who's been a graphic designer for a really long time. It matters. It makes a difference. The colors, the lighting effects makes a difference. And on a related note, different types of covers sell different formats. There are specific things that sell ebook covers, and there are specific things that sell print covers. And we see this again and again and again. Models on covers sell more ebooks. And we know across the board, most book income comes from ebooks. People on covers sell more ebooks. People on covers sell less print books. More of the typography, the scenic things are going to sell more print books and less ebooks. So knowing what type of cover sells what type, what format, what file format is going to be really important. If you're famous on TikTok, you're going to sell more print books than ebooks. Maybe you need to go with a certain type of cover. If you are somebody who is going to be selling more ebooks than physical books, maybe you need a certain type of cover. Or maybe you need multiple covers. Maybe your ebook should be one cover and your print book should be another cover, and then you can benefit from both worlds. There's a lot of research you can do here. There's a lot that you can work with, and there's a lot of options for this. Just creating a cover because you like it doesn't mean that that's going to sell or sell the right type of format or sell well for you in whatever sphere you're working in. So changing covers is okay. Having multiple covers is okay. And understanding what sells what is really, really important when working with your cover designer. And speaking of either or, you do not have to just be either traditionally published or indie published. You can be both. There was a very long period of time where people made you pick. They made you pick a path. You had to either be trad or you had to be indie. And it was not super nice. It was not something that you were allowed to pick multiple paths, but having multiple streams of revenue, having your eggs in multiple baskets and not just in one is so important in this industry. And I've been talking a lot about that recently, that you should be trying multiple ways of publishing and multiple formats and multiple things and all the stuff so that you're not just stuck in one little pigeonhole section of this industry. You want to make sure that you have the opportunity to do a lot so you can be trad and indie as a hybrid author and get the best of both of these worlds and benefit from both of these things. Another one that I kind of learned the hard way is that co-ops do not really have the benefits that we think they do. Now, I've talked a little bit about co-ops. I started my career inside of a co-op. I ran a co-op for a while. Co-ops in general, the principles of them are pretty decent. What happens is you are a self-published person, but you operate under the umbrella of one publishing house name. So it's everybody publishing themselves. There's no money in exchange. It's just they use ISBNs connected to that publisher, and they outwardly look like a publisher. They look like a small or medium-sized publisher with all these people as authors, but really inside, the authors are doing their own things, and they just say that they're publishing siblings and they're kind of working together on some marketing things. The principles, the ideas are pretty good, but the execution really hasn't been very great inside of this industry. There, I'm sure, are probably some decent examples, but it's just not beneficial anymore, especially now. It was more interesting back when I first started many years ago, but now it just doesn't make any sense, especially with the rise of indie, especially with the rise of indie on TikTok. Going it on your own without having other people you're connected to typically works better for you. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We can get really deep into that if you want to do episodes on this. But in general, I don't really recommend doing it. I still have mine. Like I still let some people kind of in, but it's not really something we put a ton of effort into. We're really not pushing it because it doesn't actually benefit most people. So you can take that into consideration if you want to do something like that. For some people, it might be a good fit, but for the vast majority of it, I would much rather see you just self-publish, outright self-publish. Don't be trying to do this co-op-y thing where people think that you're a publisher, but you're not. There's some rules and regulations and all the things. And then you're connected to people, and if they do something bad, then you're associated with them and a whole vibe. Co-ops, just for most people, not the best choice. And I definitely wish I had not gotten involved with those in the beginning of my career. And then this is a really important one. Listen on this one. People will misrepresent themselves in this industry. They will hang up a shingle and say they can do something when they can't. Because they have some limited skills, they think they can do bigger things, and they can't. And people will put spins on things to make themselves sound better than they truly are. So let me give you an example. Earlier in my career, I worked with an editor, and this editor told me that she had worked with the big 5 publishers. So I worked with her, and she just didn't do well. She didn't do well. My book was going into publishing, and I got in huge trouble with the co-op I worked with because she missed a whole bunch of things, and she made weird stuff, and it was not good. And it turned out that this woman had worked with an author that went to Big Five, but she was a beta reader for that person before she got her agent, before she got picked up by a publisher. She didn't touch that for the publisher or after she had been picked up. She was a beta reader, and then she claimed that. People can say a lot of things. People can use things that happen and spin them in ways that make them look better. So you gotta do your research. There's a lot of people out there that are gonna be icky about the way that they do things, and it can impact and hurt you in your career and what you're doing. So double check everything. Don't trust anything. Make sure people have qualified credentials. Make sure there's examples. Like, make sure, like, do your due diligence before you get into any type of partnership or contractual relationship with a person to make sure it is a healthy fit before you do. Now, there are a lot of other things that I wished that I had known when I was a baby author that I know now that I am more than happy to share with you. So drop your questions down below. Ask me your red flag, green flag questions, and follow along for daily videos helping you navigate the world of publishing, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, to make this your most profitable year ever with the least amount of stress and overwhelm and time commitment on the content that you are creating. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.